back, I jumped right back into it, and we've been busy here sharing Sisel stories. And earlier today, actually tonight, I hosted a call where we had some speakers get on, and I'll send that recording out later tonight or tomorrow morning, but to all of you as well. And Margaret Johnson was on, and she shared with us how she started developing arthritis almost 25 years ago in her back, and degenerative disc disease and degenerative joint disease in her back, and it was confirmed by X-ray. You could see the joint spurs. You could see that the discs were degenerating, and when she started taking the age pill, she noticed that almost immediately that her back pain went away. She started taking it back in August when it was first released, and she's been taking it now every day for 6 months. And she said her back pain is totally gone. Not only is her back pain gone, but on subsequent follow-up X-rays, her doctor said that the degeneration, the arthritis is gone. It's no more. It's not apparent on the X-ray any longer. And as a physician, I'll tell you, holy cow! I wish I would have had some of that in my clinic when I was doing my chiropractic. I mean, just imagine had we been able to use that with every single patient. So, if you know people that have back pain, you'll want to get them to listen to that testimonial. What a powerful testimonial that one was. And then we had Elizabeth from Wyoming, which is a western state here in the Rocky Mountains. Her daughter was born with type 1 diabetes and later went on to develop Hashimoto's, which is a thyroid disease. It's an autoimmune thyroid disease. Type 1 diabetes itself is an autoimmune disorder. And using the age pill, just since it came out, her daughter's diabetes has not progressed. In fact, the doctor said that she's just not a normal type 1 diabetic patient. But not only that, since she started using the age pill, her thyroid numbers have gone back to normal. And you know, again, we can't say cure, we can't say treat, we can't say anything like that. But all I can say is that based on the studies that have been done at Harvard, they say that the ingredients in the age pill, the nicotinamide riboside, the nicotinamide mononucleotide, are both ingredients that they've found that might be the promise for autoimmune type disorders, because what it does is it can tend to stop the attack on the particular organ. It can stop the attack at the cellular level, but then once it stopped the attack, what they're finding is that the immune system goes back and now protects the same tissue that it was damaging, and it will actually, after a period of time, it'll go back and actually start to repair that. And they've been doing studies on that with MS as well, multiple sclerosis, and these studies have been reproduced, so it's not just a fluke that they found it at Harvard, but it's actually been reproduced at 2 other colleges since then. If you get a hold of me, just email me at drkurtfisnek@gmail.com. That's drkurtfisnek@gmail.com. You can
Sorry, Dr.
email
Fizz,
me and I'll shoot.
can you
Yes.
give that email address again, please?
I sure can. It's Dr. Kurt Fisnek, so it's DrCurt Fisnek, FICENEC, so just my name, Dr. Kurt Fisnek, @gmail.com.
Okay.
And I'll shoot you over a copy of those studies, but very, very interesting when you start reading about it. And then we had a final testimonial as well, where we talked about different types of health conditions, aging, and really how the body repairs things. But anyhow, how does it all work? Well, another study I was just reading this morning, and I was reading it last night, they say that, you know, our body, of course, we produce cellular garbage from burning sugar and fat as energy. This is called glycation and lipofuscin. And these deposit in the cells, And what happens is that it slows down the body's healing abilities, and the body starts to spend more energy trying to repair the damage caused by glycation and lipofuscin, and it won't have the energy to go back and repair the damaged tissue. And so that was some testimonials there, and we had a Kathy got on and shared with us a story of her puppy that back in November, they weren't the doctors, the veterinarian neurologist really wasn't giving the dog much hope. Everything was kind of going downwards. The dog didn't have the strength to hold itself up. It wasn't eating, and you could just see that there was visible signs that the dog was just gradually degenerating. Anyhow, when Kathy got a hold of me, I said, well, let's do a detox first. And we put her on a detox, and she said within 2 to 3 days, her dog was standing up again. It was eating out of their hand, out of her and her daughter's hand. And within 4 days, the dog was eating out of the bowl. By the 5th day, when they went back to the veterinarian, the dog was running around playing fetch. And within a month, the veterinarian said that her dog was back to normal. Right, that was the veterinarian's words, and he just couldn't believe it. And so I'm just, every day I hear stories like this, stories, and it just, I mean, it's gotten to the point where I go, wow, but I just don't doubt them anymore. Where in the past I would have gone, oh, come on, you're making that up. But now I don't even doubt them because the stories are so great. But anyhow, let's get on with the call here. And first, what I'd like to do is I'm gonna call on Ada over there in Perth. I know Jan said that you had a story that you might want to share with us tonight.
Yes, I do. I'm actually a homeopath, and I've been using homeopaths for a long time. That's what helped me, saved my life many years ago. But when Tom decided to open in Australia, I decided, yep, I'm going to use his products and incorporate them in referring them to people as well. I've got a friend who's got a grandmother who's 93 years old, and I treated her. She's in a nursing home. She's blind, she's bedridden, she was not in good shape. She can't move her legs. And the doctors, when she went to the nursing home, said she wouldn't last 2 weeks. I put her on the Triangle of Life, on the Brain Vitality, on the Omega Plus, and they were giving it to her religiously with high doses. Shahina is 18 months down the track, and you should see it. She is sitting up. She's not yelling out. She doesn't have dementia anymore. She's moving her legs. They're getting her and taking her out of bed, and she's sitting in a chair. That's how much these products have helped Shahina, who's 93 years old, and they said she wouldn't live 2 weeks.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. What are the doctors saying when you're seeing results like this?
Well, she's in a nursing home, excuse me. She's in a nursing home, and the doctors have, they've been very good in saying, look, they can give her what they like. The family are instructing the nurses what to do. They're giving her the doses, and they've just said, make her comfortable, give her whatever you like. And they're astounded, but they don't want to know. They don't want to know that you could heal most of the patients in there and they wouldn't have a nursing home. But what I noticed, Kurt, is a fascinating thing. When I walked into nursing homes, and I've been to a lot because I used to deliver medication to a nursing home when I was a dispensary technician, and you get that stench of the old age stench when you walk into a nursing home. There's that distinct stench. Does everybody agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, you've got this smell. Anyway, when I did some investigation, I realized what it was, and that is that it's the dead skin cells because they don't exfoliate their skin.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, that's it. And that's just amazing. And when you walk into Shahina's room, she doesn't have that because they're exfoliating her skin now.
She smelled new life.
Yep. Yep.
Rather than death. Crazy.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yep.
Well,
She's
thanks for sharing
blind.
that with us.
Yeah, it's an amazing. And even for myself, Dr. Kurt, I had chronic dry eyes for about a year, and you know, being a practitioner, I can fix myself, and I wouldn't seek any help anyway. Eventually I went and had an eye test, and I didn't say anything about my dry eyes, but he picked it up and he gave me these drops which were useless. They didn't do anything really at all. And then I thought, okay, well, I'm just going to have to live with this because I've spent too much money trying to fix them. Started the age pill, and within 2 weeks my chronic dry eyes disappeared.
Wow.
2 weeks.
And that was just from adding the age pill to your regimen.
Yep, just adding the age pill. I take the Triangle of Life, the Balance D. I'm taking the Sisel Rip now, the Omega, and the Triangle of Life.
Wow. Well, thanks for sharing that, Ada. I sure appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend.
Thank
and
you.
then let's run a bit about what you're noticing with your dog, with Milo.
Yeah, so thanks, Kurt. So Milo is a 14-year-old Labrador. She has been on the Triangle of Life, and she's also been on, she was taking Super Omega and TSX, half a capsule a day. So she's been taking those products for a while. And recently, when the age pill came out, we started her on that product, and that was in, well, it was when it was first released in Australia. So it's actually been about 6 months now. So Milo's been on it for 6 months, and over that period of time, the main thing, well, within the first 3 months, there was a massive reduction in grey hair. I feel her grey hair is still reducing. However, it's not as significant as the first 3, so we'll keep tracking that. She's had some canine warts on her face. She had one on her nose and one above her eye. The one above her eye was like sort of out of control. It was growing, it was red, it was almost sort of infected. And now it's like turned into a black, like flat, very flat, and the hair started to grow back over it, and that's nearly gone. The one on her nose, which was quite a big one, has reduced to a tiny, tiny little black dot, like it looks like it's going to fall off. So that's really incredible because the warts are an indication of the immune system, and of course, as a dog gets older, it's struggling because it's an older dog. So the fact that her wart reduced to such an amount, like to such a small size, is just an indication to me of what it's really doing on the inside, as well as the grey hair. So while these things may seem superficial, it means that something's going on the inside of her body that's really assisting her. As well as that, she's put on quite a lot of muscle, and she's a lot stronger. She's pulling very hard when she goes to the park. She has no problems running up and down the hill. She's very happy, great mood. She's doing fantastic. So that's what's happening with Milo, and she's pulling so hard. My mum's actually had trouble walking her now, so we've got some people helping walk her. So,
Katie, can I just ask? Katie, can I just ask what doses you gave the dog with the Triangle of Life and the age pill?
Yes. So with the Triangle of Life, she was getting 10 mils of each of those products, and then with the TSX, she gets half. But then when I introduced the age pill, because she's 22 kilos, I based it on weight. So the age pill's designed for a 65 to say around 80, 85 kilo person at the dosage of 6 capsules a day. So if you do the math on that and work it out by weight, that would bring it down to, given her weight, 1 capsule morning and night, uncracked. So I've had people ask me, well, what about if they've got like a little tiny dog that weighs 3 kilos? So I kind of refer them to Kurt to answer that question, because I do know with a capsule, if you do snap it, it's not as powerful as it could be if you recap it with you can buy capsules and you can recap them, because it has a special coating that protects it from the stomach acid breaking it down, so it is absorbed, I guess, better. And with a little dog,
sorry, Katie,
I did.
You're saying the age pill is better, that if you don't open it, it absorbs better if it's a whole pill?
Correct. Yep. You're best not to crack them. And if you do crack them, you can buy some capsules on Amazon or eBay that are, is it called what's the word? It starts with E, Kurt, that where the tablet's coated so it protects it.
Yeah, it's called enteric coated. ENTERIC.
ENTRIC.
Yep, enteric coated capsules. So you want to get some of those, and then what you would do is you would open one of the age pill capsules, and you would, divide it. I guess you could go down to a third of a capsule and divide that and put it into another capsule. But again, based on weight, I did hear Tom Mauer Jr. say less than a quarter of a tablet would be useless on anything. He actually said so. Probably a third is what you'd be looking at, and I guess probably refer back to Kurt on that.
You bet. And in the studies from University of Iowa, where they studied the nicotinamide riboside and the nicotinamide mononucleotide, from everything that I could read, they're safe up to really high doses. I mean, you'd have to eat a bowl full, probably the size of a small dog, to have really any problems. So there, you really don't have to worry about getting too much. But anything over, probably over like what Katie's saying, like with her dog that's about 65 kilos, anything over 2 a day is probably just, it's unnecessary. So
yeah, she's 22 kilos.
22 kilos, okay. And then Katie, and then what dose of the Triangle of Life are you giving your dog?
So Marlo's on 10 mils of each, so she gets 10 mils of Fucoidan, 10 of Spectramax, and 10 of the Eternity. I was concerned initially with the Spectramax because I thought that it had chocolate in it, but if you read the ingredients, it's not chocolate, it's chocolate fruit, and that's completely different. It's not actually chocolate, it's chocolate fruit powder as one of the last ingredients. So it's completely fine for her, and that the minerals in that really help the dog.
Yeah. And sometimes, people have trouble giving their dog some of the liquid formulas like that. Do you ever have any trouble with Milo?
So sometimes she will get fed, and then my mum would feed her, and then I haven't given her the nutritionals, and I don't want her to get a double feeding because I don't want her to get too plump. So basically what I do is I get a tiny bit of meat, and then I'll mix a couple capsules around, and I put the liquid into the bowl. I've tried to see how little amount of food I can mix in with it so that she'll still eat it. And she looks at me and she'll start licking it, and she'll keep going back, and she'll eat it all up, because even if there's minimal food, I think she's gotten used to the taste. Plus she probably likes the Triangle because it is quite sweet. So she doesn't have any problems eating it. I just push the tablets into some food. Because she's a Labrador, she'll eat stuff very quickly. So no problem at all. Yeah.
Well, thanks, Katie. And I'll tell you, when I was down in Melbourne, that's a month ago already, it was really something that the older dog, your dog is what, 15 years old now?
She's 14 and 4 months, coming up to 5 months. So she's nearly 14.
Yeah. So it's nice. It's nice to see how healthy this dog is. I'm telling you, folks, her dog Milo runs around like a lot younger dog. So what I'd like to do now, I'd like to run over to Jody. Jody, you said you'd share a story with us today, and are you on the call? Were you able to make it back on?
I am. Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear, Jody.
Great. Well, hello, everybody from Aussie. This is Jody from United States, America, coming from Massachusetts, to be specific. And I just wanted to pop in. Thank you, and thank you for having me on your call tonight. I just wanted to pop in and share briefly my story. I've been with Sisel for almost 5.5 years now, and I have a rare autoimmune disease called mitochondrial disease, and that affects my muscles in my entire body. I was bedridden for 5, almost 7 years, sick for 10, and nothing helped. I was on several painkillers, as well as a pain pump that was inserted into my heart, pumping morphine into my body 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. However, the age pill came out the end of July 2017. My life, my health, my body has completely changed. I am a brand new person. I take the full triangle of life, the Eternity, the TSX, and the Sisel Rift, and I am off every single pain medication. My pain pump has been removed. I am on 0 medications. I was on 27 prior. I'm on 0, except for Sisel, all natural, non-toxic products. The age pill and Ripped to me are so essential to, especially an autoimmune disease, as because of the nicotinamide riboside and how important that is for muscular function and how it fuels our ATP, which fuels our mitochondria throughout our entire bodies. With mitochondrial disease, I was lacking that production of that ATP that fuels your mitochondria cells throughout your entire body. Therefore, that's why I had not the strength to stand, to take care of myself, to bathe myself, to brush my own teeth, to wash my own hair, etc. So when I say these products are life-changing, I truly, truly mean that from the bottom of my heart. And I know Australia, you guys are so ahead of the game, more so I'd say than the United States. We're just coming into this, folks, but down in Australia, you guys are already on the health, I'd say health train, where you, from what I've read, you already understand the power of all natural health supplements. So I'm telling you, please take my story, take any one of these wonderful, amazing stories, and please know they are coming from each of our hearts. These are life-changing products, and I cannot thank Sisel International enough. So God bless everyone, and I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you for having me on, Kurt.
Thanks, Jody. I really appreciate that. Yeah, wow. 27 medications down to none. Holy cow. Holy cow. What a powerful testimony. And folks, you know, I guess, you know, I'm looking at the hour and it's half past the hour, and that's, I try and keep the calls to just 30 minutes. I know it's a busy weekend for everyone, and I want you to go out and enjoy yourself, but, you know, let other people know. Let other people know. I mean, look what it can do for a pet. Your pets, it can't be, you know, it's not placebo, right? You can't tell, Katie can't tell Milo, hey, you're going to feel better tomorrow, and Milo's going to listen. You know, they either get better or they don't. You listen to how Ada was talking about what it's done for clients of hers, and now you hear this amazing story that Jody just shared, and Sandy and Paul and all their friends up in the Gold Coast and the Sunshine Coast up there by Brisbane. What amazing stories I heard last week when I was up there. So folks, I'll get this all, I'll get the recording and I'll get it sent out to everyone. And I've got the recording that I did earlier a couple hours ago up here in the States, and I'll send them both out, and I'll post them onto our YouTube channel as well for anyone that wants to refer back to that. So thanks everyone.
Thank you, Kurt. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
Kurt.
Bye.
Bye.